serious?
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the official review of Hornet, the latest premium Tier VIII carrier for the United States Navy after Enterprise and Saipan. So to do this review correctly, we will be breaking it down into a couple of sections so you can understand my objective opinion as to why the ship is not worth the asking price, which brings us to the first portion of the video, the price. This ship goes for bundles from 40 up to 70, all the way up to 82 euros. And I have to admit that buying this ship for more than the basic bundle is a complete waste of your money, as I'm quite sure you have plenty of camouflage sitting around and signals as well. I also do not recommend for you to buy this ship through the armory and by using the doubloons, as sure the basic ship can be purchased for the 12,500 doubloons. However, if you would want to go for the middle bundle, your only other option would be to spend over 80 euros for the 25,000 doubloons bundle, which means you would be overpaying for the ship by quite a lot. Therefore, always consider buying the ships if you decide to do so in the game through the premium store, as the equipment of the ship is definitely not worth the asking price, which leads us to the equipment. So starting off with the armor of the ship, you're going to be able to see that it's absolutely terrible at surviving encounters with the enemy ships with high caliber weapons. So battleships and cruisers particularly will be able to deal devastating amount of damage to your ship, while submarines are going to become your absolute worst nightmare, as you will have zero means of defending against them. Why am I talking about the armor? Well, you see, it is due to the fact that most premium Tier VIII carriers have certain gimmick, where you are able to, let's say, use planes of Tier X carriers, like in the case of Saipan. In Hornet's case, unfortunately, you are not given the best squadrons, as you will be flying the TBD Devastators and the SBD-5 Dauntless. Because these planes are not the fastest, you might try to compensate for traveling lesser distance by moving your carrier into more aggressive positions, and this is something you should absolutely not be doing with Hornet, as this ship has really bad survivability. As I mentioned, the planes we need to go over are the three types of squadrons which you are getting, as it seems like this ship was specifically set up to focus on one class of targeting enemy ship, and those are battleships to be specific. Now, reason why this is that your TBD Devastators have slow torpedoes and take long time to get the targets acquired, as you can reduce the time by getting captain skills called Torpedo Bomber and upgrade called Aerial Torpedo Modification 1, but trying to focus on cruisers is going to be punishingly painful due to their anti-aircraft capabilities and maneuverability. The SBD seems like the best choice therefore to be used on the enemy cruisers thanks to their AP bombs, where landing citadels is possible. However, keeping in mind that you can go against ships of Tier 10 where the entire aircraft can destroy your squadrons in a matter of seconds, I cannot recommend this tactic. Which leaves out the main reason why people would consider this ship, the B-25 Mitchels. I have to say, you will have much better experience taking this plane out in War Thunder than in here, as the planes are slow, and despite their impressive loadout, where each out of the 6 planes of the attacking group drops down from 6 till 8 bombs, their accuracy and armor penetration capabilities leave something to be desired. Unfortunately, you will not be able to keep taking out the bombers constantly, as they do have at least 2 minutes and 49-second cooldown in between each squadron. But even if you lose the entire attack group, your saving grace is that in the time it takes to prepare them, you will be able to keep flying planes, so in case you would have those long matches where at the end you do not have more planes left from the TBDs or the SBDs, you will still have the B-25s. Unfortunately, they only do possess 2 engine boost consumables for the duration of the entire match, and I have came across reviews where they claim that the basic engine boost will, once it's consumed, will not reload. This is total BS. It actually does reload, however it takes long time. The planes are not that maneuverable and it will take you a long time to reach your target. Which brings us to what you can do in order to make the ship more destructive to the enemy and prolong the time which your planes can spend in the skies. Upgrades and the captain skills. Considering that the ship has large disadvantage due to what planes it's going to be using, the initial 10 captain skill points are most likely going to have to be invested into the added survivability of the planes. So if you want to make a dent into the enemy team, my recommendation is to go and get at least the following skills: air supremacy, improved engines, survivability expert, enhanced aircraft armor. This is one of the main reasons as to why I cannot recommend for you to go out and buy this ship for 80 something euros, as already 10 out of 21 captain skill points have to be allocated to your planes. And even the remaining 11 skill points I would suggest to spend on those skills such as aircraft armor, swift fish, and sight stabilization, leaving you with only 3 more skill points to allocate, where I would probably go with improved engine boost and the torpedo bomber. For the ship's upgrade, I would recommend Air Group Modification 1, Aircraft Engine Modification 1, Aerial Torpedo Modification 1, Bomber Modification 2, and unfortunately I cannot confirm if this is applicable also for the B-25s. Last but not least, Flight Control Modification 1. This brings us to the competition of Hornet. This is one of the biggest problems where I see that the competition from ships like Chalkov, Indomitable, Graf Zeppelin, Kaga, Saipan, and others have slight edge due to the fact that they have higher ranked planes, or they have better armament, they have faster speeds, or they have more destructive loadouts. And the B-25s do not feel like they give you that much of an edge, as sure they can do beautiful amount of damage to the targets, but you either need to get RNG Jesus lucky or have some serious knowledge of the in-game mechanics from each patch to the next patch. So how is therefore the overall performance and my feedback for Hornet? Well, the ship certainly can fulfill its part, however, as I mentioned, due to what planes it is given, and as they cannot be upgraded besides captain skills and ship upgrades, you will most likely have to play passive role, choosing your targets carefully in order to apply the most damage, but this might be good for your damage counter and the final score. but not best thing for when it comes to actually helping your teammates. I primarily use the torpedo squadrons for start of a match to spot or intercept the enemy destroyers or to target battleships which have separated themselves from the rest of the enemy fleet. The AP bombers I only use in between torpedo squadrons reloads and the B-25 cooldowns, trying to mostly focus the battleships as I never know how many shells will bounce off the enemy ship or how many citadel hits will I get with each bombing raid. The one saving grace in comparison to Saipan is that you have much slower planes, which means that they will last you longer as you have to consider the travel distance into how fast you can deal damage and when your next squadron will be up in the air. And also, if you choose the captain skills and the upgrades which I mentioned, the return speed will be increased, so you should have fighting capabilities at all hands. Biggest saving grace, however, is the fact that even if you were to lose the entire attacking squadron of 6 B-25s and you would have to wait those additional 2 and something minutes, after that cooldown is done, you will get additional 6 B-25s which you can take out. So compared to the other premium ships, where if your squadrons have been completely destroyed by the anti-aircraft fire, you will always have something to fly with. It will just take you forever to get the next attack group up in the air due to the long cooldown. And that is going to be it for the review. I know it might be a little bit shorter and sweeter than the other reviews I have done here on the channel, but unfortunately in the past 40 something matches, I have started to especially lately experience a lot of disconnections and a bug where there is a delay on the payloads of the bombs and torpedoes being used, so I missed a large portion of the targets. And I'm not sure if this is due to the fact that Wargaming is a Russian gaming developer, and ever since things are happening in Ukraine, their servers have been affected, but it is something I feel I need to mention as I do have a certain problem with this. And if you will be considering actually investing your hard-earned money into this game, you might experience something similar. I do not know what is the situation with the North American servers or the Asian servers. I play this on the European servers, so that is the situation which I'm having. My internet speed and the download speed is holding steady. I'm not connected via Wi-Fi or anything. I do have a beefy computer which can handle this game easily, so it's definitely not on my end, and therefore you should know that this might happen if you are considering spending your money. So I hope you will all enjoy this review, and in case you do, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and if you are not yet subscribed, make sure to do so and hit that notification bell so you get notified when I upload something new on the channel. And hopefully the information provided to you will help you to create the basis on which you will be able to make educated choice on if this ship is worth the asking price. If you are still not sure, the best advice I can give you is to research Lexington and take out the basic squadrons which you will be given. This will give you the best comparison to Hornet, despite the fact that you will be lacking the B-25s, of course, and instead you will have the F-6Fs, Hellcats, later upgraded into the Corsair squadrons. But due to the fact of how totally screwed up the rocket squadrons have been ever since the patch was for the carriers updated, I don't use them at all. So it doesn't matter if you have the Big Tims or if you fly around with a massive payload of HE rockets, you will most likely not be using those squadrons at all, but you will have the comparable sample of the SBD and TBF bomber squadrons. So keep that in mind, and hopefully you will let me know in the comment section what you think. Have you played against the Hornet? Would you rather get any of the other premium tier 8 carriers? In case you would, tell me which ones would you get. Would you get the Russians? Would you get the Germans? Would you get the Japanese? Let me know, as I would be more than happy to read about it, as it also helps with the algorithm too. Thank you all for watching, have a pleasant rest of the day, and hopefully I will see you either in the comments or maybe in one of the matches.